warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I begin, let us praise our one and only God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has always been gracious in bestowing His blessings upon us. And there isn't a day when we forget our salutations to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam until the end of time. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you pick up a book and sit through the whole thing as you immerse yourself into the words written on the papers, do you feel like you've gone into a whole new world? One perspective other than what's on your head are considered and spoken through. Well, at least that's how I felt. It made me wonder if I've been stuck in my own bubble for too long. I started to question a lot of things that I've never ever considered before. And before I knew it, the things that I've read affected the way I chose to think, the way I chose to speak, and the way I chose to make decisions. Better and wiser decisions. Now I figured this is how developing critical thinking skills can be done through literacy, in which that it would lead to gaining wisdom. Before delving deeper into the topic, I would like to tell you our title for today's speech, which is Developing Critical Thinking Skills to Gain Wisdom Through Literacy. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, what is critical thinking skills? I am sure that this is something that we hear in our everyday lives, especially when you are in a classroom and a discussion is happening. Your teacher would demand you to think critically. But what is it actually? So, according to my research, critical thinking is the ability to interpret, evaluate, and analyze facts and information in order to form judgment and decide whether something is right or wrong. From the definition, I think we can see why is it important to have the skills to think critically. It builds creative problem-solving skills. It can also improve our communication skills, as in articulating our thoughts clearly and logically. And the most important one is that it can enhance our ability to form decisions, so that we can make well-formed and logical decisions. Now, you might be thinking, what does critical thinking have anything to do with wisdom? Well, to put it simply, wisdom is the outcome of critical thinking. The meaning of wisdom itself is the ability to use your knowledge and experience to form good decisions and judgment. And to form good decisions and judgment, you need to acquire the skills of critical thinking. And that includes self-regulations, analytical thinking, evaluation, as well as clarity and precision. Developing critical thinking skills can be done through literacy. Literacy is not as simple as the ability to read or to write. According to UNESCO, literacy is when you can identify, understand, communicate, and compute using printed and written materials that is related to varying contexts. Literacy gives you the tools to analyze and to evaluate, and as well as to make your arguments. Now, there are several ways to gain critical thinking through literacy, and one of them is by reading actively. And that means you are constantly questioning the author's arguments and intentions, so that you can identify biases and how it affects your viewpoints as a reader. You can also start by analyzing those arguments so that you can evaluate the evidence of the arguments better. You can also start by writing down your thoughts so that you can explore more ideas to practice to forming your own opinion. You need to be open to change your opinion when you realize you are on the wrong side. This is an essential part in becoming a wiser person. Now, the most important one of all is to applying what you've learned into real life situations, especially in judgment and decision making. Now, in conclusion, literacy is the cornerstone of developing critical thinking. And in developing critical thinking is a very essential in our everyday lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, so that I conclude my speech, I would like to thank you all for your kind attention. And the last I say is wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.